All right, let's go ahead and jump into our topics. First topic here, this actually was a suggestion from one of our patrons. Shout out to Abraham Leon, a.k.a. Poppy Amon. He talked about rappers that have expanded their brands in terms of business ventures and going outside of just rap. Who's been successful and who has failed? To me, it's funny that Ice Cube was actually just here for the Big Three. I think he's a huge candidate for someone that's been successful when you talk about movies. Obviously, he's legendary for his rap, but the way that he's continued to expand his brand beyond music and even movies now to start his own league, you have to respect that. Like from what I've heard, Spoolz, you actually went to the event. From what I see and from what I've watched, like the presentation is dope. He's got a lot of credible veterans and people that that were in the league, champions and some great players, Amari Stoudemire, Joe Johnson, these guys, and they're really out there getting after it. So how was your experience, Spoolz, in terms of the Big Three when it came to NAP?
It was fun, man. Had a good time. Shout out to my cousin Colin and his buddy. I'm trying to remember what his name is off the top of my head. I feel like an asshole.
We still appreciate him.
It's John. I'm sorry, John. Shout out to John and Colin. Anyways, no, it was fun. The pack, like it's well put together. They are getting after it, man. Like they're really playing ball. The concept I think is really cool, and I would definitely go back and watch it again. Joe Johnson was just eating everyone's lunch.
That's what I keep hearing, man.
Yes.
I heard he was out there, as they say, in his bag.
Yeah. Amari's playing. He played real well.
Word.
J.O. was there, Jermaine O'Neal, but he didn't play. I don't think he dressed. But it was fun, man.
Shout out to Cube, man.
But as far as the topic, you said people in the hip hop industry, rappers specifically, or MCs who have ventured out. Yeah,
expanded their brand and just been successful outside of, just the
my mind,
rap.
just to like think of the first person that came to mind for me was E40.
Wow, okay.
E40 raps about it. E40's into like real estate, and he's got his own line of like fine wines as well as his own line of like liqueurs, on top of other things. So like, yeah, I think he's done a really good job with it. I think it'd be real with all the stuff he's done with marijuana in California.
Nice.
As far as branching out and like doing more things, and like, I mean, he still does music with like Prophets of Rage and stuff like that, but he's definitely branched out. You automatically think of people like Jay-Z, of course, and Puffy and all that. I'm trying to think of people outside of that though.
No, that's what's up.
You know what I mean? That's maybe a little bit more off the beaten path that wouldn't immediately pop up. Failures, I can't think of too many.
There's a few.
Ja Rule is the first one that pops into my mind. I mean, that's obvious, though. That's like a home run, like fastball down the middle. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Jay Diff, tell me about some failures. You jumped in there.
Well, I'll tell you about a winner. I think probably the greatest achiever as far as the actor lane is probably Will Smith. So, of course, you got to mention him. Common, of course. These are two artists that have respectfully won awards on both the music and acting side of the game. So
that's a fact.
It's a pretty good transition. As far as failures, I mean, there are some ideas that start off good and kind of tank. You know what I'm saying?
Festival type stuff.
For example, definitely Ja Rule, the Ja Rule situation. There's a cat that we talked about that Spoolz was not feeling his video game system at all in one episode. Man. Yeah, he did not.
Yeah, I remember that.
Who was that?
Yo, shout out
Soulja Boy.
Shout out to Lone with the owl noise there. That's what's up.
You want to know what's something funny though? I'm not sure he's actually been a failure.
Well, he's not a failure overall.
You're getting to my point.
Yeah.
He's not a failure overall, but there's like the reason why I said that's a failure because people were saying that they weren't receiving their consoles. So
yeah, that's unfortunate. I didn't even know that.
But he's locked up too.
Yeah, he locked up on top.
I'm not laughing about him being locked up. That's shitty. I'm laughing about people not getting their consoles.
They definitely didn't get their consoles.
Who else? Of course, Ja Rule. We already know he just screws himself.
Yeah, they had bologna sandwiches out there in them streets.
Man, he has to hate 50 right now.
Were they fried bologna?
No, they probably. I don't think they could afford to fry them. Like they just had regular bologna with the red part still
cold
around.
Bologna.
It.
Yeah, it's just bad, man. But I heard
they got
he's trying
the water,
to do
though.
True 2.0.
Oh, okay.
Fire 2.0. Yeah, we know how that's
Yeah, we
gonna
know
go.
how that's gonna go.
But I mean, he has to hate 50 because 50 is a good example of somebody who's winning.
Man.
Because he took his record deal.
Yeah.
I think his first venture was the vitamin water.
Yes. I think he started with
He made a
vitamin.
lot of money on that. I know
He
that.
did.
Yeah.
He's transitioned into the Power TV show.
He's a beast with that.
He has a
He took his
liquor.
loss really well with Kanye too.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
He did. He took it on
Remember
the chin.
that? Yeah.
He had the F in vodka.
Yeah.
Is that
He's
a
got
vodka?
the F in vodka.
Okay, right.
He's doing like fight promotion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that he's doing. I guess it's kind of hard to remember the people that are failing at this shit.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
You know, a lot of people have clothing lines that don't take off.
That's you know.
Birdman had a pair of lugs that were trash.
Yeah, they was super
remember those?
trash.
No.
You don't?
Yeah, it was
I don't.
trash. Kato
Yeah.
said he had a pair. He probably got them on now. He had them on? Yeah,
Might be
they
able to
was trash.
get a little pretty penny off that.
Huh?
now.
Still having them?
Yeah, if you still got them.
I actually was working at Finish Line when those came out. The packaging was trash. The box was trash. It had like a little silver bird logo on it. The mug was whack.
What's fucked up though, you know, the trend now is that chunky shoe.
Yeah.
And that was a
Yeah.
chunky ass shoe.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to
somebody-
lugs though. Everybody, I had a pair of lugs. I'm talking about the boots. I did have a pair of those back in. We probably dating. I'm
Uggs?
dating myself. I didn't say See, I'm probably
It's okay,
dating
Mike.
myself. But
Mike walking around with snow boots.
see, that's
Them
oh,
them Napoleon Dynamite
don't do
joints.
that. You had a pair of lugs at some point, right?
I did.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I had lugs clothes too.
Okay,
I ain't go front.
that's what I'm saying. Just we keep it a buck.
You guys ever get tired of stepping in the club with the same pair of lugs?
I think by the time I was going to the club, I
Yeah.
wasn't wearing lugs.
I
wore lugs in high school.
As did I.
Yeah.
just thought I'd ask.
Yeah. Hey, Lone, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. So, do you have anything to add
Contribute?
about
Yeah, I was
rappers
waiting.
or lugs or
I
anything?
was waiting.
Did you
my
rock
turn.
lugs? I knew you back then. I don't think you had lugs.
No, didn't wear lugs. No, I think it's an interesting conversation. Look, even the people that are failing, the people even that you're talking about that are failing at a high level.
Facts.
So can you? I may look at success a little different than some people. Not even necessarily anybody here in this room, really, but I think failure is a good thing. So it's how you rebound off of that. Life is full of small failures that turn into less small failures and so forth. So, Ja Rule's
Learning experiences.
absolutely.
I can
So
dig
the
it.
fact that Ja Rule's coming back and trying again, good for him. I don't know how much luck he's going to have with that, but if he believes in it, but he has definitely taken some L's throughout the
If they
years.
True.
if they fry, you know what I'm saying? If they fry the bologna,
You think
to
it'd be a
me
little better?
that enhances.
It's a step up.
Yeah. That was
I
cold
mean,
last year.
think-
At least take the red line off and fry it. Like
Yeah,
have it.
I mean, they had the guy that definitely went the extra step to get the water secured.
Yeah.
So
He was willing.
and able,
He, yeah.
Goodness.
but
Definitely able.
But no, I think that realistically, the failures, the reason why we can't think of them, are a lot of times
Yeah.
it's people that don't actually make those attempts or don't, if you're not in the conversation of being a failure, then you're not putting yourself in the conversation anyways.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of how I feel on it. So it's kind of a weird topic to me. But because we know Jay-Z's a success. We know,
Yeah, those are-
we know
yeah, those-
50's a
those-
success,
I
those
mean,
are
everybody forgets about who comes in second place.
That's
I
true.
mean, if you ain't first, you last.
Yeah.
I mean,
Amen.
and there can be multiple
I
people
guess.
that are in first place.
Man.
That's
Essentially.
why I still love 40 and like just his music and I mean he's literally talking about like teaching people, like telling people to diversify their shit, like
Yeah.
what he's doing, like much like Jay-Z did with in a way with 444.
I think
Yeah.
people that are like have successfully taken their hip hop career and turned it into something that maybe they want to do more or they can
Yeah,
do
Killer
more
Mike.
of, then you're successful. So I think Killer Mike's
That's another good
highly
one.
successful.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a good one.
really successful. LP has reinvented himself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then is what do you rate as successful? Like what's
Absolutely.
what's the
What's your-
credentials in order to be labeled as successful? Because you have certain artists that didn't take necessarily the monetary lane.
Right.
They took like the activism lane.
My
or,
son.
Sure.
I would consider my son someone to me that I would consider successful with just the campaigns that he has and the things that he does in the community, what he's always preaching, what he's always talking about on his IG, like I would consider him successful. You know what I'm saying? Outside of his rap. Like a lot of people might not even, I know a lot of our followers know Mice or whatever, but I'm talking about there are people that might not necessarily know him for rap.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like he's still out there in the community heavy, like putting action behind the things that he says. So to me, that is like, that's honorable. Like you got to respect that. He's putting his money where his mouth is.
Growth is success in itself. I mean, when you think about somebody
especially
like
if
Gucci,
you can
man.
measure it. Especially if you can measure it somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Gucci. You know what I'm saying? Gucci pretty much.
Absolutely.
He didn't change his life as far as something that's affecting everybody around him or us as fans. He changed his health, the way he ate, the way he moved, things like that, which is
In
an
return,
inspiration
exactly.
to people. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
a fact.
Yeah.
that's a success.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yep. And there's lots of people that are, you know, I mean, we all have known people that are more independent that have went from this level to this level, you know, raised their levels. You talk to people like 𝗏𝗏 from St. Louis.
Yeah.
He's big in doing the things that he's doing. So shouts to Tef.
Even like the most successful independent
Jabi.
person, 𝗏𝗏𝘅9.
𝗏𝗏9.
Yeah.
𝗏𝗏9 might not be somebody that we all listen to on the regular or even fans of, but his lane
You
and
gotta respect
and what he
𝗏𝗏9.
built
Yeah.
Think of
is
somebody.
like no other.
Think of somebody like even if you follow somebody like Phonte, who went from Little Brother to Foreign Exchange to working with the Roots.
Now
you know,
writing on TV shows.
Or, you know, Open Mike Eagle, who I booked him, you know, like 5 years ago.
Now,
and so him, no, I got to watch him. He's got a show on Comedy Central now. Mega Ran is somebody who we were booking for doing the shows, and now he's doing huge things as well.
Even for production standpoint, if you look at somebody like Stro Elliott, like he's always been a beast on production. I caught on a little later, but I still went back and did my research. Now he's literally in the Roots, not you know, performing with the Roots like a Roots member.
He was in the
crazy.
The percussionists or the percussions or something back
you
in the day.
put me on to them, yeah.
So
like he's an amazing producer, and for him to get that spotlight to be able to take his push, Ableton push around the world and be a member of the Roots, that's crazy.
Even people like Thundercat and Flying Lotus, who some people didn't even know until they pretty much found them through watching Adult Swim,
right,
and listening to the things that they made there or whatnot.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a success.
I've always heard that, you know, I've kind of modified this throughout the years, but there's a saying that success is when luck, what is it? Preparations meets opportunity or something along those lines. But at the same time, like success is just staying active and continuing. It's just doing it over and over again and not getting deterred by things, and eventually you're going to be successful.
That's what's up. Let's go ahead and go
Shout
to the
out
next.
to Drake.
Yeah,